Welcome in.
I didn't do my research. I didn't because
It's all over. It's all over.
I don't think I've been this like kind of like
I don't
buzzed.
think he bit my ear.
Hello, let's journey to the middle.
This journey to the middle.
You'll meet them all again on their long journey to the middle.
Hi, everybody. It's Journey to the Middle. And guess what? We have a special person on the podcast today. Everybody say hello to Dana.
Hey, Matt.
You miss my excitement, don't you?
I do. I'm sorry. Like I've been kind of telling you, like my excitement is not wonderful these days. So,
But that's why we're here. We're here to have some fun.
I know.
I know. Let me tell you what you have missed. You have missed a great comedy special. We had one where we just asked each other random questions, like, "What would you do if you owned an elephant?" So we've been trying to have fun in these COVID-19 times. Oh, you're freezing.
Yeah. How is it treating home? Right.
What's that?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
You froze for a second.
Say that again. I'm sorry. Are you working from home? Yeah, I know. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we're good. We're good.
See now. Okay, that I can't hear you. That I hate. Damn it, COVID-19.
Blame it on COVID-19. That's the reason my computer is freezing. Or your computer is freezing.
Yeah, it's like I'm seeing it on both ends. Like I'm seeing it on your end, and then I see it freeze on my end too. So I don't know.
It's it's the world today. Our computers are infected.
Now, are you you're not working from home, right?
I worked from home for 1 week because Jen's a nurse, and they decided that anybody, hey, Mike, anybody that had somebody that was on the front lines stay home. And then, like, by the end of the week, they had changed their minds, and they said, all right, go back to work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but ever since then, like, that was the week we started wearing masks at work every day. So.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, generally we're not too close in quarters there, so it's not that big of a deal. But obviously, we're trying to be safe, and we're cleaning like crazy. We have people that clean overnight every week, every day of the week. And then on the weekend, there's like a crew that goes in and sprays the place.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
We all got tested a couple weeks ago. Everybody, there was 500 some people in my building that got tested. And we had, I think, 5 cases. Nobody in my department.
Wow. You did have cases, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, there were a couple. I don't know who they were, so they were on the other side of the place, but
Oh, so nobody in your department then?
No.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's good, but like it's also scary. Like I know, because my company, my agency, we have multiple locations around the states, and we just merged with another agency, so like now we're even bigger, and we're in other states where we weren't before. And so I know that there had been several positive cases reported throughout the agency in several different locations. Now my team, where everybody is out of, they're in New York, so they were in like the hotbed of everything happening.
Yeah.
So yeah. Excuse me. So it's been interesting though, because like I work from home anyway. So for me, I didn't really give a shit. I was like, whatever, dude. I work from home every day. So for me, I was like, cool. Now everybody else gets to jump in on that train. But they were trying to figure out if it was even going to work for our company. And I mean, of course it does. Like we're an agency, we're an advertising agency, and we're digital, like we're digitized like everybody else in the free world. And they said that it's been working so much better than they thought it was going to work out. So it's nice and it's encouraging to hear that, because then I'm like, well, then maybe they'll not, again, like I work from home anyway, so for me it's okay. But it sounds like they might be more open to that for other people across the company, like because our office is not opening again until like early September. None of the offices.
Yeah, I think our office workers are coming back like sometime August.
Is it okay?
Yeah,
okay.
that's the plan right now. I'm sure that will change.
Well, yeah, it's weird. I was talking to Kate, because Kate came by my dad's house yesterday. You know Kate, and she said that her company, they're like, and they're essential as well, because they're like in like, I think they're in education, if I'm not mistaken. It's either healthcare or education. Either way, their CEO told them that they're not going to be coming back until after the new year, and that's even subject to change. Yeah.
I imagine they'll extend it just because, I mean, like right after August, you got fall coming.
Right.
And if this vaccine isn't out, which I don't expect it to be really, so
it's not going to be out until next year. Like that like, let's be honest, there's no way that there's going to be anything, in my opinion anyway, that's going to be viable until next year. At the earliest, because they've been saying like typically it's like 2 years, and then they say like maybe as soon as 18 months. Okay, so you're chopping off 6 months, from that. But yeah, it's weird fucking times, man. Like it's weird.
My work from home, like I didn't really have to do any work while I was off. It was basically a week off. I ended up doing just a shitload around the house and probably pissing off everybody in the house while I'm doing it. Like, all right, I'm gonna do this now, and I'm gonna rearrange this and everything. So I'm sure everybody's like, when is Dad going back to work? This sucks.
I should have had you come over here, because you could have helped rearrange stuff in our basement.
I've seen the basement. I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, like I'll let the cat out of the bag. I'm sure, like, and I'm sure you probably didn't mention it to people before, and that's totally fine. I appreciate that if you didn't. So my mom died last month. So like that makes times even stranger. She got diagnosed with God, I'm gonna cry. She got diagnosed with oh, stop it, with stage 4 liver cancer in January of this year. And so I mean, it was bad, it was stage 4, so like I knew it was bad. But she passed away last month, like at the end of the month. And so I spent, obviously, like I spent a lot of time there over the last few months helping my dad like take care of her and stuff. So I could have had you come here when I was over there and help do things at the house here. Oh, sorry.
It's all right. We've missed you over the last couple months, and we didn't say anything about it out of privacy for you. But like, I know that my heart reaches out to you. I can't imagine. And I know Dana has never actually met Nando, but like he felt really bad for you too. And he was like, when I told him that we were recording tonight, he's like, "Oh, that's fucking great. Glad that she's able to do that and everything." So I'm happy to see your face.
I'm happy to see you. It's just hard,
Yeah, I know. And we're here for you, and the listeners are here for you. I know everybody's missed you. I like to blame that we've lost a few listeners to COVID-19, but I think it's because Dana was gone.
Yeah, I really wanted to try to record when Mom was sick, but I couldn't do it,
Yeah, I know. Let's move on, because we're not here to cry. We're here to have fun.
I cry all the time anyway, so it's like, it's kind of like my new norm anyway, so it's okay.
Well, we're here to take your mind off of it.
Yep.
For bigger and better things.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: my kids have been quarantined and like out of school, and they are going nuts. They are killing each other and yelling at each other, and just the stupidest. Here's the thing: they'll be like 5 feet away from me, 6 feet. We're 6 feet away, and they're like bitching at each other about who's gonna like unload the dishwasher or something. And I'm like, you guys are having the stupidest argument I've ever heard in my life. And then they'll stop.
Me and my sister at their age, though. Like, it totally reminds me of me and my sister at their age.
Yeah. Yeah, they're 14 and 11. Oh, can I tell you something really cool, Dana?
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell all my listeners, I'm going to fucking brag about my kid right now. So Caitlin, Jen calls me on Wednesday, and she says, hey, Caitlin's having like a virtual graduation thing. I have to work. I can't be there. And she's crying on the phone. And I'm like, oh, crap. I'm like, all right, I'll leave work early. I'll come. I'll watch the virtual graduation with Caitlin.
You said she was crying on the phone, right?
She was crying, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, she's really upset. She has to go to work and can't be there. This was like a last minute change. It was supposed to be the Thursday. They changed it to Wednesday. So I'm like, oh, shit. All right. So I took off work early. I come home, and Caitlin's like, hey, Dad, I got something to show you. I'm like, all right. Jen hasn't left for work yet because I came home a little bit earlier. And she runs up to her room. She comes back down. She's got this thing, and she's like, read this. And she holds up this paper to me. And it's the President's Education Achievement Award.
Aww.
That only 10 kids in her class got.
Oh my gosh.
That you have to have a 3.5 GPA or higher for all of junior high.
Aww.
You have to have a teacher's recommendation.
Okay.
And there was something else in there that they had to have too. Only 10 kids got this thing.
That's
and
so
like,
awesome.
I'm like, ugly cry. I'm like, holy shit. Gave that kid a big ass hug. And I grabbed her. I'm like, you fucking did this. You did this. You were awesome.
Aww.
And Jen wasn't crying because she wasn't going to be there for the virtual graduation. She was crying because this kid just fucking made her proud as all hell.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so proud of her. That's such an awesome moment.
She's an exceptional child, and I am through the moon that she has just kicked ass in junior high, and hopefully continues. So,
I mean, I'm sure she will. It's because like, I did pretty well in junior high myself, and then like I wound up actually doing even better in high school. You know what I mean? Like, just a little bit better in high school than I did in junior high. So, I'm sure she'll continue that trend for sure.
I hope so. Yeah. Like I told her, I don't know how long ago, but I'll tell you this, like 6th grade, the first like semester in 6th grade, she struggled. The transition was really hard. By the end of 6th grade, she got honor roll, and she's been on high honor roll ever since. But I told her, I'm like, Caitlin, your job is to do better than me and Mom did. I'm like, that's all I want for you. And like, I got my bachelor's degree. I didn't apply myself until college. Like, I had close to a 4.0 in college, but like not in high school. Not in junior. Junior high was fine, but high school,
right.
But yeah, I had better things to do. I was out. I had a car. I was driving. I was doing whatever. So, but in college, I like 3.8, somewhere around there. And so I just told her, I'm like, just do better than we did, So.
Does she have any idea? I mean, I know it's like super early, but does she have any idea what she wants to do? Like, where she wants to go to college?
So she has been on microbiology since about 2nd grade.
That's awesome.
We have actually a picture of her, 2 pictures from like career days at school where she chose microbiology as a career. And I think she's been on that. She has knowledge of aquatic animals, or fish, dolphins, sharks, that is beyond anything I could ever imagine. You ask her about like, just say, hey, give me an obscure shark, and she will tell you a name of a shark you've never heard of, and then tell you umpteen amount of facts about that shark.
That's so awesome, though. That's
So
wait, marine biology, you mean, right?
yeah,
Marine
yeah,
biology.
yeah, marine biology.
Microbiology. Like
When I say
microbiology.
microbiology, marine biology.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, microbiology kind of probably has to do with that, I'm guessing, too. I mean, like, that's my jam, microbiology. I love that shit. But good for her. That's so cool. So, like, does she know where she wants to go, though?
So she hasn't chosen a school yet. I was
Okay.
telling her, so we have thought about moving down to Atlanta when the kids are both out of the house.
Sure.
Yeah, we have my work has a branch down there. And the Georgia Aquarium is down there. And Georgia Aquarium is like this gigantic aquarium.
Yep.
They have internships and everything. And I told Caitlin about that. And so she's thought about going down there in that area, and so that she can maybe be at Georgia Aquarium at some point in her life. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so
I
that's
think that we
at least the
about that
starter.
aquarium. Yeah, absolutely. I think that they do a show about that aquarium on the Animal Planet, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah, and like if you follow their like Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, they post a ton of cool shit.
Do they? That's
Yeah.
awesome. Aw, high five her for me. That's so cool.
Yeah, and Izzy, not to forget my littlest one, Izzy. She is she's graduated 5th grade, so she will be
Aw.
in junior high next year.
Oh my gosh.
So so the COVID-19 has thrown our graduation party through a loop a little bit, like so we can't, but we're gonna celebrate the shit out of it once we can. So
That's good. That's good.
yeah, when so we've had to change like vacation plans, and like when Caitlin told Jen about the award that she got, Jen's like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? We'll go anywhere. Where do you want to go? You want to go to Cancun? You want to go to New York? What do you want to do?
She picked New York, right?
No, she picked Mexico, but like we can't go to Mexico because we might not be able to get back.
That's the thing right now. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Plan it for next year instead, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a homebody anyway these days. But I was like, whatever. I guess it means I'm not going to be going to New York for my work trips this year, and I guess we're not going to be trying to go on vacation somewhere. So it's okay. I mean, it's, you know what? It'll allow me to pay down all the shit that I need to pay down and whatever.
Yeah, our plan was DC. That's probably the worst place to go right now, just because, like, I mean, everything is going to be closed for a while, probably longer than most things.
Right.
So we got our refund on that.
You know, oh, good. Okay, good. Yeah, DC's cool. Maybe
done
even
it before.
plan that for next summer. Oh, you have? Okay, yeah.
We went
for next summer.
Yeah, we went a couple years ago, just me and Jen. But then we're like, oh, the girls are going to get older. They're probably not going to care pretty soon. So we wanted to try to take them. Well, I mean, in all honesty, really, I mean, it's like, well, let's go to see a bunch of museums, guys. And they're like going to be like, a couple years from now, I'm going to be like, oh, all right.
Well, you never know. I mean, like I didn't go until I was older. I think I went when I was 28, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was fucking cool when I went, then.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Still, I think it's cool, regardless if they're not totally into it. I still think it's a cool place to go. Like the National Mall, obviously, like it's a cool place to go around. There's tons of stuff around there, so yeah, it'll be fun when you guys go. Yeah,
so hopefully they can appreciate it. We'll do it next year.
Yeah.
And then Jen and I want to do New York eventually, so I've been in New York State. I haven't been to New York City.
I don't give a shit what anybody says. It is my favorite place to go, and I've got a lot of friends out there, and I absolutely love being in that city. I mean, right now, obviously, like I can't be there for, I'm gonna say obviously again in the same damn sentence. I obviously can't be there for obvious reasons right now. And I don't see that changing until next year at the earliest either. Like, they're like I said, they're saying September. I think for my friends out in New York, it could be even longer that they extend the, like the office closing out there too. So I don't know what they're gonna do. but so I'm just looking ahead to next year. I've been there a lot anyway in my life, which is cool. So I'll just resume that next year instead. And plus, by that point, fingers crossed, I should have already possibly moved into like the senior role on my team at that point. So it'll totally make more sense for me to be out there anyway. So
Yeah, absolutely.
lots of stuff has been going on, like like personally, but also professionally, and which is good. But like the professional stuff, as amazing as it is, it also bites into my time a lot during the week, just because I'm working a lot of like crazy hours and unpredictable, just because I'm taking on a lot more responsibility. So it's been good though, because like I took FMLA and I started back at work. When did I fucking start back at work? I want to say it was like the second week of May that I came back to work, because I was off for like 3 weeks, I think. They finally convinced me to take the time, and I'm glad that they convinced me to take it when I took it. But yeah, so like I had those 3 weeks off, and then I came back to work, and boom, it was just like, it's a good distraction for me, but like I also miss being able to do shit, like having more flexibility to do stuff like this during the week. You know what I mean? I felt so shitty when I had to bail on you this week, but I was just like, shit, like I don't know when I'm going to be done with work, and I don't feel like I have a lot to say, but I guess I have a lot to say.
Yeah, that would be a first if you didn't have something to say. I think that would be a first.
I mean, like, a lot of my talk has been about like what's been going on personally, but we have been like, I have been sneaking, and I shouldn't say sneaking because we haven't been sneaking, but we've been watching some cool shit, I guess. Like, I haven't necessarily been listening to a whole lot of music over the last few months. I mean, I just kind of like, life was kind of, put on hold. So, did a lot of watching of TV with my mom, and with my dad and stuff. And then of course, like when I was back home with Mike, like we've been watching shit too. Like we just started so I don't know if you have Apple TV, if you've got a subscription.
I think the last time we talked, or we're on the pod together, I said like I wasn't gonna get Apple TV, but god damn it.
You got it, didn't you?
So here's the all right, so I got roped into Disney Plus because there was some movie that everybody wanted to watch.
Yeah.
And so I ended up getting the subscription to Disney Plus. And then we ended up keeping it because like Izzy loves the shit out of it. And then Apple TV had like the morning show. And I was kind of like, I kind of want to check that out. I want to see what it's all about. And there was something on there Jen wanted to see. And then I saw that they had the Beastie Boys documentary. I'm like, all right, we'll get the trial for Apple Plus, Apple TV or whatever. And so I ended up getting that. And so now we still have it. I just canceled my HBO today because I was watching Westworld and I finished the current season. So I canceled HBO. And I'll eventually get HBO back because like they're adding all those new shows. Like they're going to have the Fresh Prince on there, Big Bang Theory, the Friends thing.
Are.
But like right now, Amazon doesn't have a deal with HBO. So that's where I get most of my stuff is through Amazon Prime, or at least the Amazon Stick. And they don't have a deal with them right now. So I can get HBO, but I can't get all that extra content yet.
What about the HBO Max though? They're not doing that through Prime?
No, like you'll get everything HBO except for all this extra new programming. So you're if you get, I could get Apple TV or get HBO now through like my computer and stuff, and then like I could like mirror it to my TV, but that sucks. I don't want to do that. So
yeah, it's not very convenient. Yeah,
I'm like, well, they got to be striking a deal soon. I can just deal.
Yeah.
But the answer to your question in the end is yes, I do have Apple TV right now.
So did you watch the morning show yet then?
I've watched one episode, but I was involved in a bunch of other episodes of other stuff right now. That's as far as I've gone.
Once you're able to clear your schedule some and watch it, I promise you it is absolutely binge worthy. We loved that show. I mean, we binged it probably within like a week of getting Apple TV when Mike got the subscription to it.
I'm going to get into it soon because I finished Westworld and something else. So I'm like, all right, I can sit down and watch the show now. So
The other show that just came out, I think it came out on Friday actually on Apple TV. It's called Central Park, and it's a cartoon, but it's like a musical cartoon, and it's Josh Gad,
Yeah.
the guy what? Oh, screw you, Alexa! I didn't even say her damn name, and she like totally said something that was so creepy.
Alexa's listening.
I know, Alexa, you're an asshole. Yeah, exactly. Don't say shit back, sister. The guy from Kimmy Schmidt, the guy who did the lemonading, he's one of the voices on the show.
Oh, the guy who plays Titus.
Thank you, Titus. That's his name. I'm like, it
Yeah.
starts with a T. Couldn't remember it. Something Odom. What the hell is his name? Something Odom Jr. Why can't I remember his name? My memory is not the best. Either way, Stanley Tucci is also in it, and he plays this crotchety old woman, which is hilarious. It is so funny, and I want to say, like, it reminded me of the characters on Bob's Burgers, like, just like their physicality.
Yeah.
So then we started watching that because I've never seen Bob's Burgers. So then we started watching
Oh
that.
my God, Bob's Burgers is great.
Fucking hilarious. Like,
Yes.
so hilarious.
It's just,
and I think
it's such a clever show.
yes.
It's like what Simpsons and like Family Guy used to be, just a clever show.
Yes. And what the littlest one, her name is Louise, I think, right?
Louise, yeah.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
Hysterical.
Louise is basically Izzy, like without getting in so much trouble. But that's like Izzy's like spirit cartoon, you know, like if I could, cause she, instead of like the bunny ears, Izzy wears cat ears all the time.
Cat ears, yeah.
Yeah, and she loves it. And there's another show, I don't remember who does the voice of Louise, but there's a show that's on Disney Plus called Gravity Falls that one of the characters is voiced by the same person that does Louise.
Kristen Shaw, I think is her name.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 So, and I told that to Izzy one time because Izzy loves Gravity Falls and she loves Bob's Burgers.
Does
And
she?
I'm like, that's the same girl that does Louise. She's like, oh, yeah, it is.
It's hysterical. It's hysterical. I'm glad that you finally got Apple TV because there's I mean, they're continuing to release a lot of good content because when we first got it is pretty much right after it was dropped and there was not a ton of content on there. But we just finished another show called Defending Jacob, and Chris Evans is like one of the main characters, and then the kid who's Jacob in the show. And it's a limited series, so it's not even like a seasonal thing. It's just a limited series, and the kid who plays Jacob is the kid who was in the new It movies.
Okay.
So really good. We really liked it. We just finished it because they just had the series finale on, I think Friday is when it dropped. So hi Louise. Speaking of Louises, come here. Hi. Say hi, Mr. Matt. No, he just gonna sit under the chair. Yes, my dog. Say hi. But that's actually pretty good. There was another one. Balls.
Did you watch the Jeff Goldblum? Did you see the Jeff Goldblum thing? Dude, it's so weird.
No.
He's a weird guy. So like
he's totally weird, right?
So there's a show on Apple TV. It's called The World According to Jeff Goldblum. And it is like, it's like you're sitting in the mind of Jeff Goldblum the entire time.
Really?
And like it's narrated by him and he's doing things like the one we just watched was like a history of cosmetics. And so just imagine like Jeff Goldblum from like any movie narrating like information about cosmetics and talking to drag queens and
totally Earth Girls Are Easy. I mean, not even close to what that movie was about, but you know, it's all good.
it's so weird. Like he's talking, it's like he's talking to himself the whole time. You know, like someone's putting makeup on him. Oh, here. Okay. So he walks in on a makeup artist doing up a model, right? And so he's walking in from the side and he's just like tap tap tap. He's saying this out loud. Tap 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 tap. And like the lady's like, "Oh, hi, Jeff Goldblum." And he's like, "Well, hello." And it's so fucking odd. I don't know why, but like just watch it. It's so fucking weird.
We'll totally have to watch it then. Like I like that weird shit. Plus I love Jeff Goldblum. So
Yeah, if you like Jeff Goldblum, yeah, watch this. It's crazy. It's informational. It's interesting. And then on top of it, you're like, God, this is really interesting. And then on top of it, you're like, God, this guy's on fucking drugs. Like, what is this guy taking? Give me some.
I'll have to tell Mike about that for sure. That'll be something that'll be next. Come here,
Yeah.
Louise. Come say hi to Matt, huh? No, she's just gonna walk around and bump into the computer and everything. It's cool. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
bumping.
So before we started this, I texted Nando because we recorded an episode with Nando before I talked to you, and I was drinking this beer, and it's a 13.5% alcohol content, which is pretty heavy. So I'm on my Yeti full of water now.
Are you? What kind of beer is it that you're drinking?
It's an Imperial milk stout, bourbon barrel aged Imperial toasted marshmallow.
Wow, that's okay.
Yeah, it's a lot
What
to take
brewery?
It's a Pollyanna.
I've never heard of that before.
Oh, they're local. They're like Roselle, and they have another brewery somewhere else.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice, supporting the local peoples. That's awesome.
Absolutely. So anyways, I got to sip my
You gotta drink your
whole
sippy
thing
cup
full of water here now. I was getting a little silly at the end of our last episode, which is our next episode.
It's all good. Yeah, like I told you, I'm not going to be drinking for a while, so it'll be fun to be around you kids and watch you guys be a little bit tipsy and shitty drunk while I am completely sober and loving it. So it's all good.
Yeah.
All
So
good.
Speaking of shows,
Mhm.
Dead to Me just came back.
Did you watch it? Did you finish it yet?
Not yet. We are, because this is one I have to watch with Jen.
Okay.
So I think we're 2 or 3 episodes in. It's crazy.
Mike and I finished the season already.
This
Like,
season. Oh, okay. So I could say it. Like
You could
the
say
twin
it.
brother. The twin brother shows up. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
I kind of, here's the thing, Matt, with this season, like, because Mike and I were talking about this after we finished that show Defending Jacob that I was telling you about.
Mhm.
Because we'll be like, oh, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. And I use Dead to Me as like a parallel to this for a reason. So, like, with Defending Jacob, we would always say, well, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. And none of those fucking things ever happened, right? So, like,
Right.
they wrote the show very well to kind of like divert you and put you on other paths, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Dead to Me this season, I don't feel like they did it as much because I called it that was gonna fucking be the twin brother when he showed up at the door, and like, I liked. You haven't finished the season, so I'm not gonna give you any other spoilers about that. But like,
Mhm.
I liked the season. Louise, stop chewing on the chair. I liked the season, but I wasn't as in love with it as I was with season 1, and I feel like
Wow.
that happens with a lot of shows anyway.
Mm.
We still watched it all the way through. The very last episode, it was still like holy balls. Especially like the very last scene, right? So, like, they have to leave you on a bit of a cliffhanger for the next season. So it was good, but I'm very curious to see how you feel about it when you finish it.
Okay. Yeah, because so we've been watching it, and like, so she kills the guy. I think that was like the end of season 1, right? And so then he shows up again at the door, and I'm like, well, no. See, here's the thing. Like, Jen was like, wait, she killed him, right? I'm like, pretty sure she did. Like, he was floating in the pool. And then he shows up, and it's like, yeah, it's like twin brother, and we're like, well, what the fuck? How are they going to explain this? Sitting back, like, in our chair, like, go ahead, tell us the story. Like, what?
That's just Louise. Stop chewing the chair. Sorry, I'm yelling at my dog. Not really yelling at her, I'm scolding her. But that was the thing. So, like, when that happened, I was like, okay. So, like I said, I liked the season. I wasn't as in love with it as I was with season 1, so I'm curious to see how you feel about that. But another show, too, that I have to tell you that we started watching, that we're now all caught up on, Killing Eve.
Okay.
Have you ever seen it?
I have not seen it.
Okay. That's another one. They have it on Hulu. So you could binge this. And if you've got cable, like if you have Xfinity, you can also, catch up on it with on demand. Really fucking good show. Sandra Oh, the chick she was on, what's that terrible show? Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah. I say terrible. I never fucking watched a David in my life.
Dude, let me tell you something about Grey's Anatomy real quick.
I'm not
Is,
missing anything, right?
well, no, you're not missing anything.
Okay. Okay.
So I do like it to a point, but it did get old fast.
Which is like, that's kind of the feeling that I had. Like, I felt like it was just a more glorified version of ER.
Yeah, ER is better.
That's exactly what I've heard from people who have seen both. And I'm like, I've only ever seen some of ER and I liked it. I never saw any of Grey's Anatomy and I don't like it, and I know I won't like it. So
Grey's Anatomy is like the soap opera version, like the daytime TV version of
like the Melrose Place version of ER.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, dead to me. So sorry, like I totally went like in a tangent there for a minute. It's kind of how my brain is working these days. So my apologies. Dead to me though. So yeah, let me know how you're feeling over the next few episodes and what you're thinking. Cause
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally.
Yeah.
One thing before I forget, because I have a tendency to do this nowadays, is we have a sponsor on our show now.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a sponsor. They are called Luna E Soul Boutique, and we've created a commercial for them. So I'm going to pause.
Yes, do it.
So then, like, when I go to edit this, during my pause, where we will just stare at each other, I will drop in the commercial. So here we go.
Okay, got it.
Hi, my name is Rocio, and I am the owner and maker at Luna y Sol Boutique. My bows are customizable to fit all ages and styles. They are specially designed to stand out, and you won't find these bows anywhere else. All our products are even tested and approved by a tiny 3-year-old fashionista. If you want something unique and eye-catching, check out our styles on Facebook and Instagram today.
All right, there we go.
Well, that's awesome that we have a sponsor now. Thank you. You said Luna y Sol?
Luna E Soul Boutique. They are on Facebook. They are on Instagram. And they make little bows. I have one handy right here. I can show you real quick since me and you are on Zoom. See?
Oh, that's super cute.
Little baby Yoda.
That's adorable.
Yes.
That's awesome. And what is it on the other side? Show me the other side of it.
Just a clip.
Yep. Okay. I thought I was going to ask if it was one of those kind of clips on there. That's awesome. Super
But they make
cute.
other stuff too. They make like wristlets, and I'm blanking completely right now.
Oh, wow.
Which I shouldn't. But they make a bunch of different stuff. So you can check them out, Dana. Luna E Soul Boutique.
I will totally check them out. That's a super cute bow, and I like bows in my hair anyway, so I like that.
Yep.
And I have to tell you too, I really like the sign behind you. It's super cute.
John Krasinski stole my sign idea.
Yeah. Did he really?
So,
no, he didn't.
he's stealing his little program there that he sold, by the way.
Yeah.
He stole a bunch of our ideas that we've been using. So
You're gonna sue him, right?
nah, I like him.
It's super cute. Who made the sign though?
Izzy made the sign. We actually had a couple different versions.
That's
and then
cute.
Then John Krasinski started his thing, and I'm like, all right, we'll steal his idea on the sign. And I gave her a picture of the Some Good News logo. I said, I want you to make one of those for Journey to the Middle.
Yeah.
So
That's cute.
yeah,
We'll tell her she did a good job.
I will. It's hard to see, I think, on your end, but like it says up here, it says featuring Matt,
I saw that.
Matt, Dana, and Nando.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
That
out
was
of
really
those three
cute.
names, on one of our previous signs, she misspelled your name.
That's okay.
I'm like, no, it's Dana, D-A-N-A. And she's like, oh, I thought it was Dina.
It's all good. I have a family member named Dion, but you know, that's not me. It's all good. No worries. So have you been listening to any new music or anything?
Not a lot of new music. I've been checking out a lot of the streaming concerts and stuff.
Nice.
So I think I told you before that I was going to go see John Fogerty at Ravinia.
Yeah.
And Ravinia canceled everything.
Everything.
So I can't see Fogerty. I can't see Dream Come True. Like, sucks. But he's been doing a lot of his own streaming concerts with his family. with his
that's why I think
kids.
he had one too. Yeah, I feel like probably like a few months ago. Time is just kind of escaping me right now. I do remember that he was doing stuff like that, so that's
Yeah.
cool that you're still able to see that. There's so many artists that are doing that though. Like, like Mike and I had concert tickets. So basically, almost all of our events, I'd say 4 of the 7 events that we have been canceled. So
Mhm.
we were supposed to see Sal. I should say 1 was canceled, 3 were postponed, or 2 were postponed, whatever the fuck it was. Anyway, we were supposed to go see Sal Volcano at the Vic Theater on May 1st, I think.
Yeah.
Firstly, it was right after my mom passed away, so I definitely wasn't going to go for that. But secondly, he wound up canceling the show completely like the week of.
Mm.
So, which fine, I got a refund. It was fine, but like I worry about all the venues that are like having to postpone or even cancel shows like altogether, because Guns N' Roses already postponed,
Yeah.
Black Crowes postponed,
Yeah.
Alanis Morissette postponed,
The
and Joe Cool postponed.
that Green Day Weezer, was it Fall Out Boy, that got pushed back a year.
Oh, so they did postpone it. Okay.
Just recently they pushed it back for 2021. Yeah.
I think like I'm waiting to find out because we still have tickets. So yeah, it was 4 of our events got postponed, and then I'm waiting to hear on 2 if they're even going to happen anymore. Kiss, we're supposed to see Kiss in September,
Mm.
and then we also still have tickets to see Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett in August in Milwaukee. But that I haven't seen anything about that. But Guns N' Roses postponed, so I'm like, and that show was like 3 days after the Motley Crue show.
Yeah.
So my guess is that more shit's going to continue to be postponed. They probably just haven't announced it yet.
Yeah. Well, most of the music, like it's really just the like online streaming stuff. There's like a Chicagoland United Musicians or whatever, which is all local talent.
Yep.
That's been streaming like all weekend and stuff, and like Huntley Music Fest or something I think it was last weekend, so they were all doing that. So I've been watching a lot of that, a lot of the local stuff, local musicians, so that's been pretty cool. It's neat to see that and still be able to support them and everything, and
yeah.
So,
but like you said, man, the venues, like the venues is what I really worry about. Like so many places, like in the city, have been closing down too.
Mm-hmm.
Like not necessarily venues yet, but a bunch of bars and restaurants and stuff. And like this one bar, the California Clipper, like it was in a pretty historic building, like that closed. And then it makes me nervous. Like what's going to close next? Like what our venues going to close? Like what's going to happen? Because there have been several of the venues that I've seen, I'm sure all of them now are doing this, like fundraising efforts to help support them. Because what the hell do they do? Especially if things get canceled flat out, like, you're having to provide refunds to people, not them necessarily, but like you're having to issue refunds. So you just lost all of that revenue and potential additional revenue with drinks or food or whatever.
Right.
It's scary times with that stuff. And like, yeah, it's been really cool for me to be able to see musicians who I love, and like even like very like grassroots musicians too, doing a lot of these like Facebook live shows and stuff. Like Julie Jumpin' Perez, he's not a musician, he's a DJ, he's a DJ, but he's been doing, I think for the last probably maybe month and a half now, he's been doing like Saturday night shows, like spinning, which has been awesome, because I only was able to catch like one so far, just because of like everything else that was happening and going on, but it was incredible and it was so much fun, and it was so cool to like listen to those songs and hear him and see him mix and all that stuff. So that was cool. So a lot of other DJs are doing that stuff too. People have been, hi puppy, hi, come here, you want to be our special guest star? Say hi to Matt. She's just staring now. She's just fucking staring now. Sorry.
It's fine. The dog's like just smiling up at me like, what up?
No, I wish you would release the video because she's so adorable. But it's interesting to see how creative people have. People are creative anyway, but to see, I know, come here, buddy. But to see how creative people have become among like everything that else that's like going on with this pandemic crap. It's very encouraging to see that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty cool just the amount of support. A buddy of mine who is a big part of this has like been doing a lot of the promotion for it and everything. And, you know, it seems like a lot of people are getting like, or it's really helping them because some of these local musicians, this is all they do. Is they just do shows on the weekends or whatever. And that's the only source of income, which is just like all of a sudden just gone away.
And that's just it. Like that's
Especially
why I'm. Oh, sorry. Go on.
I was just gonna say, especially right now, it's like generally festival season. You know, it's the start of it.
Yep.
That's where they make most of their money.
Yeah. No Taste of Chicago, no Riot Fest, no Pitchfork, and no Lollapalooza. I mean, you know, those were going to happen. They would have already been well announced by now and all that stuff.
I think Friday they finally said it was all canceled.
Oh, they did? Yeah. Okay. I had a feeling that it probably was going to be anyway because, you know, like I said, it's fucking June now, basically. Tomorrow is June. You know, and if you're not announcing stuff by now, especially for the festivals, like the big festivals, the summer ones, you know, Lollapalooza, Pitchfork, and Riot Fest. I mean, so whatever. But seeing the artists be able to do like virtual tip jars and stuff like that too, it's really cool to see that. And I mean, and there's one artist who I've known for a long time now, Tony Luca. When I was still like hanging at my folks' house, you know, helping care for mom, I think it was like a Sunday night, and I just so happened to be online, and I caught his Facebook Live, and I was excited because it was one of his albums that is not streaming anywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's not even on Apple Music, and I mean, I own it, but who fucking listens to CDs nowadays, right? Like I plug my car and I do everything through my car. So it's like, and my car doesn't even have a CD player either on top of it. So it's like, the only way that I can even stream the album is by playing it on YouTube. And I'm not doing I don't have that YouTube subscription. So it's like, I have to constantly like make sure that my phone doesn't go black so that
so it doesn't time out.
Time out. Yeah.
There's a setting in there that you could just keep it on.
It's true. But I've been too lazy to do it because it takes a whole few seconds, right?
Yeah, takes effort. I'll tell you this here. So here's what we've been doing quite a bit. We've been watching a lot of movies. And so I still have like a book of DVDs, which is probably, it's massive. I don't know how many, 300 some DVDs. So I'm like, here, give it to the girls. I'm like, start flipping through this and pick a movie.
That's awesome.
And so we've been watching a lot of old classics like Tommy Boy.
Oh, cool.
You know, what is it? We watched the Lord of the Rings trilogies a couple Sundays, 3 Sundays in a row.
Okay.
Get through those. And then last night, Jen wanted to watch Empire Records.
Oh, good girl.
Yeah. I knew that would make you happy. So, yeah, we watched Empire Records last night. And Caitlin's like almost like a 90s soul, you know, like she's like, oh, this is great. She loved it.
That's so funny because we just watched That Thing You Do the other night.
Oh, okay, good one. Yeah.
And then because I said to Mike, I'm like, you know, I really want to see Suburbia, the 1996 movie, the Richard Linklater version.
Yeah.
Or I say version, it's not a version, but there was a movie in the 80s that was like a punk rock movie called Suburbia also. And so, at any rate, Mike found it streaming on Vudu.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So, I mean, like for Vudu, if you don't want to pay to watch the movie, you can watch it for free, but then there's like commercial breaks at certain intervals. I don't give a shit. It's like 2 ads that pop up, big deal. But the cool thing was, I mean, I love the movie anyway. I own it on VHS. He didn't believe me that they didn't put it on DVD. It's only ever been released on VHS.
You told me about this movie, this stupid movie.
It's a great movie, but like, what I didn't know, which was really a fucking cool fun fact, had no idea. Eric Bogosian wrote it as a play in New York, really? I think. Yeah. And so when I said to Mike, I'm like, Eric Bogosian, and we're both like, I could see his face, and he's like, that's the dude that kind of looks like a cracked out Anthony Bourdain. And I said, yeah, that's the guy. And so like when I read up about it, yeah, it was like his play that was adapted into a screenplay by Richard Linklater. And of course, like he based it in like the suburbs of Austin, Texas, like all of his other movies that he did around that time. But yeah, it was so crazy, and it was cool to watch it again on the big screen, not on a
That's
fucking
good.
VHS.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
So funny thing too, like Caitlin's favorite band right now, AC/DC.
Get out of town, really?
Yeah. She wants to get like just got an AC/DC t-shirt, and she wants to get a poster to put in her room. She's like, she grabs onto it and she's like, I'm listening to this now.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's funny. And it's funny because like I played her an AC/DC song a couple months ago, and it was the one that has like the bagpipes in the beginning. Is it Shoot the Thrill? Shoot the Thrill, I think.
Shoot to Thrill is one, and then there was another one too. What the fuck? Anyway, but I
think it was Shoot the Thrill, and she's like, "What the fuck is this?" I'm like, "It's AC/DC," and like fast forward 6 months, she's like, "I love AC/DC."
You know, I shouldn't say I haven't been listening to any music, not a lot, but like, so my mom, I know I keep bringing her up. I'm going to always keep bringing up my mom. You know, she had a bunch of records that I had been kind of nagging her for years. Like, can I have them? You don't freaking listen to them. Can I have them? And I think it was probably like a month before she passed away. And she's like, you know, you can have my records. And I said, well, I'm not taking them now. I don't feel right about that. And so, you know, after she passed away, we started going through the records. And I did not know this. My mom had now it's mine, but she had a bunch of Elvis on vinyl, original pressing. Like one of the concerts was a live concert in Las Vegas. One of them was like a Christmas album. Like she had all of this stuff, and I was like, what the hell? Like these are like legends that are just sitting there. She has an original Beatles record that she wrote. She was a kid obviously when she had it, so like there's writing on the sleeve and stuff, but the record itself is in pristine condition. And then I started going through, like, because I forgot that she had so fucking many 45s. Yeah. And I'm flipping through them, and there were some that I knew about. Like she had Led Zeppelin Immigrant Song, and then the other side I think was Kashmir.
Oh,
on that one, I think. But I remember playing that when I was a kid. So now I have that 45, a fucking Led Zeppelin 45, which is cool because I love Led Zeppelin. It's one of my favorite bands. And then there were more 45s, and we're flipping through, and I was like, oh my God, I remembered so many of them from when I was a kid, because we used to listen to them on her turntable at our old house in Barrington. So it was really special to me to be able to get those, and now I have those. Like there's like 2 Wham 45s that I have now too, and like it was really cool to see that she still had all of those things after all this time.
That's really cool. You know what that makes me think of, and just while you were talking about the albums, we were talking about that show High Fidelity. Yes. With Zoe Kravitz, and so I've been watching it, and I think I'm through the season.
It's so good. I think it was like 7 or 8.
It got better and better as you went through. One of the cool things was like when she goes to that old lady's house, who's like, I'm just gonna sell my husband's shit. How much do you want all these records for? And I think it was a David Bowie album that had like a misprint on it. And she's like, you can just have it. And she's like, I can't in any real way buy this from you. They're priceless, you know. That's just what that makes me think of. I watched that show.
Right.
It's a hard show to watch the first couple episodes until it really gets going.
It was like we watched it, we finished it. I love the movie. I loved the book, and I loved the movie. And Zoe Kravitz brought a lot to the character, and I really appreciated too that they had the city of New York as a backdrop for this version, because the book is in the UK. Yeah. You know, the movie is in Chicago, obviously. It's in like Wicker Park, like centric to Wicker Park. And then the show, it's like all different areas of New York, but I believe it was based out of Brooklyn, I
Mhm.
think. And I just have such an affinity and a love for, all the boroughs of New York. So I'm glad that you're watching that because we really enjoyed it. We really, really liked it.
Yeah, I think I'm through that first season, and it's funny because after we finished Empire Records, I'm like, we should watch High Fidelity next.
Yeah. I would love to see what Caitlin thinks about that movie.
Yeah, we'll see, because I mean, John Cusack can be kind of a
Asshole?
well, not that, but like, he's definitely like, you have to have a taste for his characters.
Oh, I see what
No.
you're saying. Yeah. That makes sense.
Because he just has a certain way about him, so that could completely turn her off.
It could, but she might like the show better then instead of the movie.
Yeah. I don't think she can watch the show yet.
Probably not. There's content there.
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah, it's
so
a good show.
exciting, though. That's so cool that you're watching that, or that you watched that, because we really enjoyed that. We really, really liked that. And like, Mike, he was surprised at how much he liked it too. Because we were both kind of like, is this gonna suck? Is it gonna be bad? Because you figure the movie was 2001, I want to say, so this is 20 years later. But I still thought it held up pretty well. I think that they did, they changed some of the stuff around a little bit.
Yeah.
But I appreciated that because I think that it gave it its own spin on the story, which is what it needed.
Yeah, and I mean, the other characters get their little moments too, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, the first couple episodes, like, I was kind of like, this is gonna be boring.
Yeah.
But it really gets, after you get into it a little bit more, you get past those first couple episodes, it's much better.
It is much better after the first few, couple of episodes too. I agree with you on that. There's
like a Saturday Night Live bit where they talk about stuff like that, and they're like, oh, the show is great. Like, the first 3 seasons are really bad, but once you get past those, you get to the 4th season, it's really good. You just gotta get the first 3 seasons. I
feel like that happens a lot, though. I feel like I've said it a lot. I feel like about other things too, and I feel like other friends have said that about a lot of things. It cracks me up, though. It totally cracks me up. Speaking of Saturday Night Live, the Pete Davidson movie that's coming out.
The King of New York or something like that?
Staten Island.
King of Staten Island, yes. Yeah, I think it's out. I think it's on
it?
Netflix or Amazon movie.
I thought it wasn't coming out until next month.
I've been seeing a lot about it lately on Amazon. I can look.
Yeah, let me know, because if it's out now, then I want to rent it tonight and watch it, because I've been dying to see that movie, because the previews for that look fantastic.
It does.
Really look good.
Yeah, it does look really good, and it's funny because I think it might have been one of the last times we did an episode where I went and saw Pete Davidson.
Yes.
And I had to edit
really
out.
Say anything about it. Yeah, you couldn't really say anything at all about it because you signed something, I think, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, and so that is anytime I have to edit the podcast now, that is called the Pete Davidson edit.
The Pete Davidson edit. I love it.
I was really kind of pissed about it, to be honest. That I had to edit something out.
Understandable. Understandable. But the movie looks really, really good. And I was surprised because, sometimes those movies don't always look like they're going to be good. But I think because it's partially it's semi-autobiographical, right? So
a little bit, yeah. I think he wants to be not a comedian. He wants to be was it a tattoo artist or something like that?
Yeah.
So it's just a different way. Here, I'm looking it up right now, actually. Oh, so it's not till June. June 12th is when it comes out.
Is it June 12th? Okay.
Yeah. And it's Judd Apatow directs it, so. And it's written by Pete Davidson, Judd Apatow, and Dave Cyrus. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's coming out soon.
There's a lot. Yeah. Did you are you a fan of the Impractical Jokers at all?
Nah, not really.
No, okay. Because we are obviously we were gonna see Cell, Volcano and stuff, whatever. they had a movie that just came out not too long ago, and of course, because like theaters are closed, then they let it go to streaming right away. I tell you, it was funny, but it wasn't funny. Like, I get that they were trying to make a story around it to make a movie, but I was like, it could have just gone away with like all of the shitty side story stuff and just stuck to what you guys do on the show, but amped it up, like, you know, to 11 instead of 10.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed with that. So, but it doesn't turn me off to liking them anyway. It's fine. I still like them a lot. So
I would say I'm not surprised that it's not great.
I mean, and I wasn't super surprised either. I was like, okay, I'll watch it because I like them. It should be funny, but I was not super impressed.
Yeah. So you know what just came out?
Huh?
Space Force.
Oh yeah. Did you? Okay. So what do you think about that?
I hate to repeat myself, but the first 2 episodes are really bad, except for Fred Willard.
Agreed. Fred Willard was fantastic on the first.
Oh my God, he was the funniest part of the first 2 episodes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he has passed.
I know.
Yeah. The 3rd episode is hilarious.
Which one was the 3rd episode? What? That wasn't.
So the 3rd episode is there's a lot of his daughter in it.
That's it. Yes.
Talking to So
talking
there's
to the helicopter chick. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's like talking to this guy, and he's like, oh, my name's whatever from like something Alabama or whatever. She's like, oh, I'm I forget her name, from Abortionville, Blue State.
Yes.
And then he says something about
puss at one point.
He says something about puss, and she's like, puss? He's like, oh, that's Southern for face. And she's like, oh, Northern for pussy.
Northern for pussy, yeah. I totally echo your sentiment about it. I did not care for the first couple episodes.
Yeah.
I was just like, ugh, because I was like anticipating it. I was really looking forward to it coming out. And then I was like, damn, we haven't finished the season yet though.
No, that's where I'm at right now. I just watched the 3rd episode today.
Okay. Was the 2nd episode, that was where the chimp was in space, right?
Yeah. The chimp and the dog.
Hated that episode. I thought it was not because of the animal shit. It was not a good episode. But yeah, like the 3rd episode I liked. I think we're up to episode 4, I think.
Okay.
Or we might be past episode 4, but totally, like I said, I don't think you sound redundant because I totally echo that. I felt the same way watching that.
So just get through the first 2 episodes, everybody. Just get through the first 2.
Right.
And by the 3rd one, it really gets funny.
Right.
So.
I'm trying to think out. I'm eagerly awaiting Schitt's Creek to be released the last season on Netflix. Because the show ended. They won a shit ton of awards though. They won a bunch of awards in Canada for the show, which is cool.
Okay.
Have you watched Schitt's Creek at all?
I've only seen bits and pieces because Jen started watching it without me. And so I've only seen it when she was watching it. And it looks hilarious.
It's hysterical. So I highly suggest that you go back to season 1 and just start from the start because Dan Levy,
start from the start. Good advice.
Start from the start. Eugene Levy's son is fucking incredible. That he just scared the living shit out of me walking down here. Eugene Levy's son Dan is hilarious. His daughter is also in the show. Catherine O'Hara, I mean, duh, like she's amazing. The whole cast of that show, it's so goddamn good. Totally, just start watching because like they have the first 5 seasons on Netflix.
Yeah, I would say Eugene Levy is like this quietest funny guy in the world.
Yes.
Like you'll be like, oh, who's in that? He's in that too? Jesus Christ! Yeah. Like you would be surprised at like all the funny shit that guy is in. American Pie,
Yes. It's just like show is just so brilliant.
He's funny because he writes this shit. Isn't he a writer on Schitt's Creek? Yeah, so
I think I'm pretty sure he's a writer. I know his son is also a writer and or a producer who created it. Yeah. Sorry, Mike is like chiming in to tell me.
Shut up, Mike. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not. No, but yeah, like the son, just I'm telling you, like I love everything about that show. It is fucking brilliant. just start watching it because I know that you'll appreciate it. Like
I bet.
I've seen all 5 seasons already, but I just started rewatching them again because the show is that good. Like that is one of those shows that you could, in my opinion, that you could watch over and over
Mhm.
and just enjoy it as much as you did the first time through.
I bet if I start watching it now, I'll catch up to wherever Jen is before she gets any farther.
You probably will.
She works so hard, and then she like goes to watch a show, and then she forgets about it for so long.
Oh, I know. Is
It's-
she
it's
still?
hard to-
Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, go ahead.
How's she doing? How's everything going with her with work and stuff?
It's been rough because I mean the COVID stuff. She sees COVID patients, and at the time that we're talking, the cities are rioting right now, and where
Yeah.
she works, they are doing that as well. So
They started out there last night, I thought, too, in Rockford.
yeah, it started out there, and she had to go to work tonight, and so generally, like the employees have to park on the outer part of the parking lot. And she's like, I'm going to talk to security tonight and make sure and see if I could park just closer to the building. So
Good. Is she there yet? Did she like get in touch with you yet?
yeah, she's there. She talked to me before she started.
Okay, good.
But yeah, she works at 2 different hospitals. One's like the nice new hospital. The other one, not so much. You can kind of think of what kind of neighborhoods they might be in. And she's at the shitty hospital this weekend. So
yeah,
she's probably going to see a lot of shit.
It's scary, and I understand the reason that things are happening. Totally understand the reason that things are happening. I just want everybody to be safe as much as they possibly can. Like I started hearing some old neighborhoods that like I lived in the city, like they've been looting there today. The neighborhood that I kind of grew up in as a little kid, where my grandparents lived, they were looting at the Brickyard Mall over there. Harlem Irving Plaza, like that neighborhood has never been anything, like
Right.
sketchy at all. That too, like it's just they closed the mall out here by me.
Right over there, yeah.
Yeah, like and I'm in the suburbs. I'm not even in the city anymore. But like they started in downtown, and then they started spreading out like last night. They were right by my office building downtown too. So I'm sure that building got fucked up last night, because one of the shots that they were showing on the news was off the State Street by the Chicago Theater. The building is right around the fucking corner for work. Like I don't go there, but that's where the Chicago office is based out of. It's right in McCormick and Schmick's. So I know that shit happened there too. There's no way that it didn't. There's no way that they just avoided like that little corner there and just said, "Oh no." So it's scary.
Yeah, it's nuts. So
scary time.
I'm sure I will hear from her again before I leave for work in the morning, and just make sure everything's cool. And
good. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah, because you leave pretty early, don't you?
Yeah, I leave like I don't know, 7 o'clock or something like that. And depending on, she will probably not even be off work yet. So.
Oh God, really?
Yeah, it's like she's like 7:30 to 7:30 generally.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
So, yeah, she's overnight. So that's generally it depends. They have to hand off their work to the next nurse and like give them a review of the patient. So depends on how informative they have to be, depending on the patient and whatever else is going on. If they have a code at like 5 a.m. or something like that, well, she's leaving late.
Right.
Now there's more stuff to do after that. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that she's okay.
Yeah, me too, obviously.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning, strange times that we're in. I mean, the stuff happening right now with a lot of protests and stuff, like that's shit should have changed a long time ago.
Yeah.
Period. Like that's not a whole lot more that I want to say about that right now, but I just I stand with the people who are being affected by this. It's my heart breaks for for Mr. Floyd and for his family and for all of the other persons of color who have been victims of, it's a crime. So who have been victims of crimes like this. So it's just really, really weird, scary times. So
Yeah. The next episode, we get into it a little bit. Me and Nando talk about it a little bit, so I'm not going to dwell on it too much tonight.
Agreed.
Other than to say, I just hope we wake up from this and learn something from it. So.
Me too.
Yeah. So, you got anything else for me, Dana? Any other news? Any other shows?
Yeah, I honestly, Matt, I really wish I did. I just, like I said, it's just, life has just been so strange personally too. And, I've just been kind of like hanging and doing shit with my family and helping take care of my dad now too.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things to adjust to here on out. So, yeah, I'm glad that I was feeling okay to record tonight too. Even this week, I need to kind of get back to some sense of normal. And, I want to dedicate this episode to my mom and just thank her for just being such a stellar fucking human being,
Well, it's definitely great to see you again.
So good to see you too. I know I miss you.
And hopefully we get to see each other in person rather than over the computer pretty soon.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Hopefully in like the next month. It's going to be hard though because whatever. I can come over with a mask though. It's fine. It's no big deal.
Yeah, come over with a mask. We got dogs over here for comfort, and and noisy kids who are knocking on my door at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I'm going to be recording. And they're like, I need Dad.
Yeah, I have surgery. Like I said, I have surgery a week from Tuesday. So, I'm going to be kind of hanging at home, just to make sure, that I am okay and, healthy and shit. And then I feel like it sounds so sad to, plan that far ahead. But I feel like by, the beginning of July, I should be in a better spot. I'll probably be staying at my dad's house again because now he's got to have another procedure done again, too. Yeah. So I'll be staying there to take care of him again soon. So.
Well, take care of that guy. Tell him I said hi.
I will.
I had to meet him under unfortunate circumstances, but give him my best. And that we're thinking about you guys over here. I miss you. I look forward to having you in front of me, right there, over there,
me too.
Recording with me again soon.
Me too. I'm looking forward to that again.
So. Guys, I think that's it for us.
Yeah.
It's great to have Dana back. I'm going to make her record again next week, so I'll be bitching at her all week about it.
Please do.
Yeah. So check us out on Facebook, Journey to the Middle at gmail.com. What else? Apple Play or Apple Podcasts, Google Play. We got a YouTube channel that pisses me off every now and then. And so many other things.
Do you still have it on Stitcher?
Do I still have what?
Do you still have it on Stitcher?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're still on Stitcher. I haven't mentioned Stitcher in a couple episodes.
See?
There you go. I told Nando, every time we do our sign off part, I always forget something. So but that's it for us. Check us out. Rate, review, subscribe, and let us know how you're doing. And all that good stuff. So that's it. That's it for me.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Dana. Miss you.
I miss you too.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.